You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, days, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're having a great Sunday. And I can say it's Sunday because that's when I'm recording this review. Because I'm reviewing a review for Shrek. Shrek II, which it's the anniversary of it today. It came out May 19th, 2004. I would still say this is probably one of the best sequels that's been made. It's really interesting. I go back and forth because I just rewatched the Kung Fu Panda films, and man, Kung Fu Panda is so goddamn great. The second one is incredible. The second, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, that's one of the best animated films I've ever seen. I fucking adore Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. And Shrek 2, I remember seeing this, 04, so that would have been my junior year. I still remember seeing this on a Saturday morning and just laughing my ass off, being like, God damn. Like, I remember taking my sister to see this and being like, God damn, this is just fucking funny. Shrek, as it is, the original, the OG, it's a great fable. It's a great fucking movie. I have a lot of fun with Shrek, but this is where, and I say this about sequels all the time, this is where a sequel can really benefit the original, because the second film is so much better for me than the first film. The action sequences are better handled, the jokes are better, the introduction of a couple key characters really ramp up the tension and the intensity of this movie. I just think everything just works better overall in this film. So, getting into it, Shrek, voiced of course by Mike Myers, who you know from Saturday Night Live. By the way, I know Mike Myers has done some bullshit as of late. My God, I think about the Love Guru and it still pisses me off. But Saturday Night Live, of course, he was brilliant on there. Sprockets is one of the best fucking sketches SNL has ever produced. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And, of course, Wayne's World. And Wayne's World 2 has its charm to it. It's just not as fun as the first one. And, of course, So I Married an Axe Murderer as well. But Mike Myers, him and Fiona are enjoying the swamp, enjoying their honeymoon, even though they still have to deal with Donkey, who, of course, is voiced by Eddie Murphy. I gotta say, too, just right out the box, I think everyone, voice acting wise, nails their shit. That is one of my, sorry, let me check and make sure my Marvel check is cleared. That's one of those things about Marvel's What If that just bothers me. There's a couple voice actors per season where I just go, you're not a voice actor, and it's actually distracting how not good you are at being a voice actor. That's not the case here. I think Donkey is, between this and Mulan, you could put Eddie Murphy in the conversation as one of the best comedic voice actors, like just off those two films. But they're still having to deal with Donkey because Donkey has no concept of personal space / lives with them. So they're enjoying their swamp life, being newlyweds, and they are interrupted by a member of the royal court who goes ahead and goes to their swamp and goes, "Hey, Fiona, we heard you got married. Congratulations. Us, your parents, want to go ahead and meet you and meet him." But what's hilarious is that, if you remember from the first film, everyone thought that she was going to become a princess, and she had a chance to stay a princess, but she decided to going back to being an ogre, and so to be with Shrek. And so the parents have no idea she's an ogre. They think she's going to be a princess. They have no idea she got married to an ogre, and so so Fiona and Shrek go ahead and make the journey to the kingdom of far, far away to go ahead and meet Fiona's parents, who are voiced by John Cleese and Julie Andrews, respectively. Fucking wild, by the way, that they got Julie Andrews and John Cleese to be her parent, to be Cameron Diaz's parents. It's fucking crazy. I don't even need to mention Julie Andrews and John Cleese. You know who the fuck they are. But they go ahead and show up at the kingdom of Far, Far Away, and I love, I love the opening. I love the sequence of them getting there so much because they go ahead and get this royal introduction, and trumpets are playing, and the kingdom's all gathered. Everyone is so excited to see their princess, the future queen, come home, and then. And then Fiona steps out, and birds literally crash. A baby starts crying, like just shrieking. It's a fucking amazing sequence. And one thing that's great about the comedic timing in here is that Donkey, is obviously loud and obnoxious, but he has a good heart. But even Donkey knows how to read the room at points, and and he just goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay in the stagecoach and park this. Y'all can deal with this." And so it's an amazing, awkward opening sequence that I absolutely adore. And and John Cleese does a great job voice acting wise because you can just feel his frustration with Shrek. There's a point where they're eating dinner and Shrek burps and farts like at the same time, and you just see the king looking at him like, "God damn fucking ogre!" Like you can hear him just saying every fucking insult that he can about Shrek in his head, and then without missing a beat, Shrek goes, "Better out than in, I always say," and then you just cut back to the king, and he just looks even. He looks even more pissed off. It's fucking wonderful. So you actually really do feel for Shrek because, from Shrek's point of view, he is who he is, and Fiona fell in love with him because he is who he is, and the fact that that Fiona's parents want to go ahead and make her a princess and not have her be an ogre, they're trying to change who she, fundamentally is at this point, which is, terrifying. So there's that. But then also they did lock her away in a fucking tower too. And when when Shrek brings that up, Fiona doesn't really have a retort. And I remember it's going, yeah, I mean Shrek does have you there. Like they did do this shit. So you see it from Shrek's point of view, but then you also see it from Fiona's point of view. She hasn't seen her parents in a while. She clearly loves them. Her dad, like whenever the king is around Fiona, like he comes across like a cool dude at points, but he can't get over her being an ogre, and it's frustrating in that sense because even the queen is talking to him at points, going like, "Dude, you need to, like, it's our daughter. Like, this is our daughter. This is who she is. You need to fucking get over it." And he just can't. It's a hurdle. He cannot get over. And so that goes ahead and leads and gives a perfect opening to the fairy godmother to go ahead and try to go ahead and screw things up, who's played by Jennifer Saunders, who you know from Absolutely Fabulous, most likely. But I love the fairy godmother in this because it's very much one of those tropes of, oh, you see the fairy godmother as someone who's going to make things better for people and, make sure the good guys win. I mean, you think Cinderella, most likely, is what you default to. And yet, this fairy godmother, she's more like... She's more like if you replace the fairy godmother spells with, like, insulin, that's that's basically what the fairy godmother is. Like, I'm gonna raise the price on this and make you pay for it. No matter how poor you are, even if it could, it's gonna fucking help you and be better for your health. It's really fascinating how the fairy godmother is just such a bitch and is so mean and vile, and how you can have your happily ever after, but what do I get out of it? It's not just about helping people. It's a very nice twist that I really like, and that's something that the Shrek films at least the first two, and then definitely both Puss in Boots films do a great job of taking these characters that you know from the the stories, and that you think you know, and adding different layers and adding these tweaks to them that you go, oh, this is actually fresh, and it's a really nice spin. I love what they do with the fairy godmother. There's a point where she just becomes, there's a point where she kidnaps the king, and we find out, of course, that Rupert Everett. By the way, love Rupert Everett. We don't mention him. We don't mention him enough. He was great Napoleon as a Duke of Wellington. But you know him from My Best Friend's Wedding, another great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Happy Prince, An Ideal Husband, to name just a few. But he nails the swarmy, like, very macho mystique of Prince Charming. He's very Gaston in that way. Like I feel like they kind of told him, like, just kind of shoot for this quadrant as far as how you play Prince Charming. There's a there's a point where he's talking to Princess Fiona, and I can't remember the exact line. She goes like, "Oh yeah, is that like?" She's like, "What is up with your?" Like, are you wearing lip gloss? I think is what she says. And he goes like, "Oh yes, it's cotton candy. You want a taste?" And you're just like, sleazeball. Like, stop, man. Like, keep it in your pants. But he's such a great douchebag, and he plays that part so well. And so the king is basically told by the fairy godmother, you need to get your daughter you need to get your daughter to go ahead and marry my son. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, fuck Shrek, we don't give a shit. And so Shrek goes on a journey to go ahead and become the Prince Charming he believes Fiona deserves, which almost doesn't happen, because he's attacked by a hired gun that the king went ahead and hired. This hired gun being Puss in Boots, who's voiced by the brilliant Antonio Banderas. And I know I've made this point on the podcast before, but I don't care. It is so funny to me that Puss in Boots' last wish is what the Legend of Zorro should have been. it's so funny that Antonio Banderas has basically done four solo Zorro movies, 2 as a cat and then 2 as Zorro, and 3 of them are great, and the 2 that are actually better are the Puss in Boots ones. It's so wild. But Antonio Banderas, of course, from The Mask of Zorro, 13th Warrior, Desperado, The Skin I Live In, which, if you have not watched The Skin I Live In, watch The Skin I Live In. It's fucking amazing. But Puss in Boots is the best thing about this movie. Don't fuck Fiona, fuck Shrek, fuck the donkey. Don't give a shit. It's Puss in Boots, far and away. He is the best thing about this, and he's the best addition to the franchise that these films ever do. It's absolutely insane how well Puss in Boots fits into the canon. Because at first, you go, oh, it's a cute cat, and when Puss in Boots does the initial the look where he's holding his hat, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I still remember crying in theater, being like, oh my god, the kitty! And I would be lying to y'all if I said that when Alea and I went ahead and adopted our fur babies, Milo and Samuel L. Katzen, respectively, that we definitely didn't go, oh yeah, we're gonna have a little Puss in Boots in the house. So I can't even say that this movie did influence us getting them, because it damn sure did. But as this film, this film has some great visual gags, and that's one thing that these films have always been great at. Whether it's a donkey becoming this beautiful horse, whether it's Shrek becoming human for a bit and finding those farmers' daughters, and the one farmer's daughter going, I'd be faithful enough. Like, putting that in a kid's film, it's like god damn. Like, there are some jokes, and I think they do definitely ramp those up in here. There's definitely more adult humor. I mean, it's definitely it's disguised well enough, but there's definitely stuff for when Shrek goes ahead and becomes a human, and his pants drop. The girls are like, oh, like a kid's joke, because his pants drop, but also an adult joke because oh my god, his Shrek's dick is out. So it works on multiple levels. But I love the third act in this, with Fiona being tricked into thinking that Prince Charming is the human version of Shrek, to uh, to the Will the King basically drug his daughter into thinking that Prince Charming is Shrek, to Shrek, Donkey, and the rest of the friends from the swamp and Puss in Boots going ahead and raiding the castle. To the giant gingerbread man, like there's so much that happens in this, the last kind of raid of the castle. That's so cool. One of the subplots is that Puss in Boots and Donkey, of course, aren't getting along, and they're just they're just roasting each other back and forth. Um, I love the roasting back and forth, but it's cool to see the roasting turn into mutual respect, and because they both do love Shrek, and at the end of the day, they want what's best for Shrek. Puss in Boots saying that he'll go ahead and accompany them on their journey because Shrek and Donkey didn't kill him, so he owes them a debt, and the way he repays the debt is so fucking cool, and it's a really cool action sequence. It's a great third act, and yeah, this movie just really does improve on everything that I love about the first film. It's the relationship between Shrek and Fiona is better explored while going ahead and bring her parents in the fold. Fairy Godmother and Prince Charming are two great foils. Um, the I Need a Hero sequence is aces. It's a great fucking end sequence, and you get a character out of this that ends up becoming probably the best in the franchise and spins off into two films that are both critically and financially gangbusters for DreamWorks. So I mean, it's a win-win across the board. It's very unfortunate that the next two sequels are what they are. I'll be real, y'all. I can't even remember Shrek Forever After. I feel like I saw it once, but I just remember Rumpelstiltskin's the villain. Shrek the Third pisses me off. I fucking hate Shrek the Third because Prince Charming, or not Prince Charming, King Arthur, voiced by Justin Timberlake, who was dating Cameron Diaz at the time. God, Timberlake fucking sucks as a voice actor. Oh, it's such a bad movie. Anyways, but at the end of the day, this is an absolute classic. It's one of the best films that DreamWorks has done. DreamWorks has been, I think, very underappreciated in terms of sequels, because between this and Kung Fu Panda 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 2, DreamWorks has nailed fucking sequels. Like they get how to make them work. And like I said, this improves on the original in every way. This is a fan fucking tastic. I adore this movie. And I'm probably gonna rewatch this. I actually just did this review off the top of my head because I was like, I've seen Shrek 2 probably 20 times. I can talk about this easy. But yeah, I think I'm gonna watch this for dinner tonight. I really enjoy Shrek 2 a lot. So yeah, fan fucking tastic for Shrek. But yeah, Shrek 2. What did y'all think about it? What's your favorite sequence in the movie? Let me know in the comments. You can go ahead and subscribe to the show. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well. You can find the show on YouTube at The Real Pineapple. You can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. You can follow me on TikTok, the Twitter, and Instagram at jhunterrealpineapple. That's jhunter and then REEL and then pineapple. And you can follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. And oh yeah, I stream too, so you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/therealpineapple. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and rate the show. It definitely helps me out. You can find the podcast pretty much wherever you listen to them: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. Coming up here down the pipeline, I'm going to have reviews for Furiosa. Excited to see that on Thursday. think I'll probably review Mad Max, the OG, before I go see that on Thursday. Gonna have reviews for that. I'm gonna have reviews for Gen V, since we've got The Boys season 4 coming up. Gonna have review for Gen V season 1. I'm gonna have a review up for The Bear season 1 and 2, since season 3 of The Bear is premiering here soon. Gonna have a review for Bad Boys 1 and 2, leading up to the new Bad Boys. My review for Bad Boys for Life is already up on the channel live. And I'm going to review for all the Beverly Hills Cops films coming up as well, since we've got Beverly Hills Cop Axel F coming out July 3rd. Gonna have a review for the trilogy there. And now I'm going to have a review for the Despicable Me trilogy. I might review the Minions films. I haven't decided yet. Leading up to Despicable Me 4. My God, the fourth one. So yeah, a lot of reviews coming down the pipeline. Oh yeah, and review for My Adventures with Superman season 1 coming up, because season 2 is coming up here in a few weeks. So lots of content coming down the pipeline for y'all. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other, give someone a hug. We could all use some more positivity out there. And never forget, as always, to keep it real.